Hey, you're watching Better Body Expert TV. This is Farnell, and I'm here to share with you something today that is not going to be a very popular topic. But guess what? I think it needs to be said. When starting a brand new exercise program, there's two amazing teachers. And they're repetition and pain. Now, when I say amazing teachers, I mean these are two teachers that help human beings basically shift and transform the habits that they have. Repetition on one hand, pain on the other hand. And I know we're conditioned to avoid pain at all times, to avoid pain at all costs. But pain is a good teacher. How many times did you have to get burned by the stove to know that you shouldn't touch the stove when it's hot? Probably didn't take too much time, you know. How many times did you, did you fall down on a skateboard before you said, maybe I'm not going to be a pro skateboarder? It didn't take me a lot of times to know that I wouldn't be a pro. But repetition. How many times did it take? Through the pain, it takes less time, but through the repetition, that's what is going to make the subconscious mind, which really runs the show. That's what's going to make the change and the shift happen in there. So exercise is perfect when it comes to repetition and the pain. So don't avoid it, okay? There's going to be pain because, there's obviously a place where you're going and a place where you are, and there's a gap in between, so pain shows up in that gap. Then you have what is called repetition. Means you have to constantly do it, constantly do it, constantly do it. Program, over and over and over until it becomes like second nature. So that's why people practice a sport. And actually, it's not really the practice of the sport that gets a person good. It's the perfect practice of the sport that gets them better. Okay? Because you could practice it wrong, and then guess what? You'll program yourself to do it wrong every single time. It's funny because the subconscious mind has no real way of filtering what you put into it. So you might as well put in the repetitions. So start with a very rigid workout regimen. So if you're gonna go, let's say you're gonna be dancing maybe a few times a week, it has to be done that few times a week, and it should be at the same time every few times a week. So let's say dancing, I'm gonna take a salsa class, I'm gonna do a salsa class 4 times in a week. Guess what? Never ever ever miss that class, because what you're doing is you're programming your mind and your body to get accustomed to doing the activity. And it's sort of the very shaky part of a workout program. It's because that new idea of working out and becoming physically fit and maybe eating a new way, it's like a baby. It's not sturdy, it's not firm. And when raising a child, you have to be sturdy and firm in the beginning to sort of rear that child in the way that it should go. And it's the same exact thing that happens with fitness. So you got to be rigid. If you're going to do salsa dancing 4 times a week, then make sure you do it 4 times a week. If you're going to be doing Olympic lifts 3 times or 2 times a week, it can't be wishy-washy. You can't say, oh, maybe I'll do it Tuesday and Thursday of this week, and then next week I'll do it Wednesday and Friday. No. Establish a rigid routine that sort of becomes an anchor for the way that you work out. It's going to be base when life throws a lot of different arrows at you. So you can run back to base, go back to your rigid routine that that works. And that's going to be the key to you being able to navigate working out and exercise even when life and circumstance and everything gets crazy. So a rigid, constant commitment to fitness in the beginning will get you strong enough to keep it going when life comes at you from every single angle, which it will. It's been Real Fitness. This is Dre. Better Body Expert TV.